Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for clicking on another episode of Smashy Smashy Eggman, movie reviews, and more. I am Martin Prevost. Alright, last month we talked musicals, and then we talked some Mystery Science Theater 3000. This month and next month, so September and October, we're talking When Animals Attack. That's right, we're talking about those movies where animals kill people. Whether they're genetically altered, or they're just really big, or they're the correct size. These are animal attack movies. Now I found out the money in animal, like Jaws is a great movie. I'm not a huge fan of it personally, but a lot of people love it. It's considered a classic. I'm not going to do Jaws, and I'm not going to do anything that's that good. I don't know how many other animal attack movies are as good as Jaws, but that's not where I'm shooting for. I'm also not going to do anything that seems like it's a sci-fi original movie. These animal attack movies, your bread and butter is right in between those. Better than a sci-fi original movie, but not trying to be a classic. It's everything in between there. And that's what I'm going to talk about over the next 8 weeks. As I cover some great films, I'm not going to get into what they are, just in case I have to make some switches. I'm not expecting to, because I'm actually really personally excited to revisit or watch for the first time these movies. Good, bad, everything in between. I'm excited to get to revisit all these movies. Anyways, starting with this week, we're starting with sharks. And I already said I'm not doing Jaws. I'm going one step lower than Jaws. And what shark movie is one step lower than Jaws? Deep Blue Sea. That is one step lower than Jaws. Bet you some people out there thought I was going to say Sharknado, but that's a sci-fi original movie, and I said we're going one step above that. Deep Blue Sea. Yes, this is a movie about genetically altered sharks. They have been genetically altered by two scientists, Stella Skarsgård, and I forgot. So, before I get into the plot of this movie, so this is the cast listed on the case. All right, this is the billed cast above the title: Thomas Jane, LL Cool J, Michael Rappaport, Stellan Skarsgård, and Samuel L. Jackson. The lead of this movie is also pictured on the cover, and that's her, right there. You know where her name's not? Up here. Her name's not up there. Her name is Saffron Burrows, who on the back of the box is credited above Thomas Jane. So, that's weird. I find that really weird, that she is the top billed actor of this movie as Saffron Burrows, but she is not billed with the rest of the cast. And I'm pretty sure this is how the movie poster was laid out. Like, the actual poster didn't credit her there. It would have credited her in the crawl below that would have been down here below the image, which is now in the back of the box. That's where she would have been credited. So that's just weird that you don't credit your main character. Anyways, Saffron Burrows and Stella Skarsgård have been working on genetically altering sharks. They do it in this research lab in the middle of the ocean that has an above-ground aspect and many below-ground levels. Working for them is LL Cool J as a cook, Thomas Jane is the shark wrangler, Michael Rappaport is another doctor, and there's a group of other doctors. Jacqueline McKenzie plays one of the doctors, and Jacqueline McKenzie is the only other name on the back of this box. Samuel L. Jackson plays the man who is financing this research operation. And he decides there's a shark attack. One of the sharks gets loose and attacks a boat, and they decide they might have to shut down this experiment. So Samuel L. Jackson goes out and investigates. And much like the Jurassic Park excuse, because you have something that has to have a ton of people. Like, if you have an out-to-sea research, I can't think, it's not a ship, station. I'm going to call it a station. You have a research station in the middle of the ocean. There's got to be tons of people who work at it. But for the way this movie has to be laid out, you only need the ones who are supposed to be there. So you have to write an excuse why the rest of the staff is gone. And Jurassic Park does the same thing by saying, "Oh, we're sending people home. It's okay. They're going home. That's why no one else is on this island." Which is not the case in the novel. The novel really is basically everyone who's supposed to be there is there. It just doesn't focus on a bunch of the other people. But anyway, so people are going home for the weekend. It's going to be a skeleton crew because obviously they're doing their final tests on the sharks, and this is going to be the tests that prove they can cure Alzheimer's. So why would you not have? So yeah, you only need a skeleton crew for that. They do the test. The test comes back conclusive. They have fixed it. They have found a potential cure for Alzheimer's. Unfortunately, by creating this enzyme and altering the sharks, they've also made them more intelligent. And the shark they're experimenting on bites Stella Skarsgård on the arm. He is now injured. They have to medevac him out. Unfortunately, there's also a huge storm hitting them at the same time. The medevac chopper gets caught in the storm. Eventually, a shark jumps out, or I can't remember if Stella Skarsgård gets lowered into the water like a tea bag, or if a shark jumps out of the water and grabs it. Anyways, a shark gets Stella Skarsgård, and the helicopter crashes into the surface level, which does some structural damage to the surface level, which causes flooding throughout some of the lower levels. Skarsgård is actually not dead because he had a respirator, but he does die when a shark throws him through a window. A shark throws him through an underwater window, which floods the main research lab and creates more structural damage to the station. LL Cool J is the cook. He is in the kitchen when all this happens, and he blows a shark up with his ovens after they eat his bird. Sharks eat his pet. He blows it up with ovens. Yeah, it's a great movie. It really is. It really is such a fun movie. We basically move forward to the big set. I think we lose one more character. I think we lose the female assistant, whose name I've already forgotten after I read it aloud. Jacqueline McKenzie. I'm pretty sure we lose her before Samuel L. Jackson's big speech. I don't fully remember if we lose her here or if we lose her in a little while. No, we have to lose her in a little while because Michael Rappaport doesn't die in a little while, meaning she has to. Anyways, they get down. They're hoping to go far enough down where there's a sub that they can take down and back up. Unfortunately, the sub is damaged. Sam Jackson gives a rousing speech and gets bitten in half. That's what happens. Sharks jump out of the water and bite Sam Jackson in half. They then try to go back up through a hatch, which is where I'm pretty sure the female dies. Jacqueline McKenzie, that is her exit. I swear Rappaport makes it slightly farther. Because then they have to, I forget what else they have to do. And I just rewatched this movie. But Rappaport dies. Back in the lab as they're trying to turn, I think they're trying to turn on pumps, to try to pump some of the water out of the station, and he dies there as Sophia Burrows strips down to her underwear to use her wetsuit as insulation and electrocutes the second shark. So now there is one shark left. And unlike some of these when animals attack movies, there's literally, you're told there are 3 sharks, and there are only 3 sharks. You also find out that the sharks are strategically attacking the station to try to make it sink so that they can get to a part of the fence that they can break through, so that they can escape out into the ocean. We now have Thomas Jane, LL Cool J, and Sophia Burrows left. They make it to the surface. Sophia Burrows sacrifices herself in footage shot after the movie was done because nobody liked her character, because her character's kind of an ass. And LL Cool J and Thomas Jane explode the final shark, because that's what you do with the shark. You blow it up. And the movie credits roll. Both of them are happy, even though Sophia Burrows is also dead. But as far as they're concerned, she's actually standing somewhere off camera because, again, her death was shot after the fact. And they never changed Thomas Jane and LL Cool J stuff because they were together away from her, so it was just easy to cut around the fact that she's dead and just have them be happy that they're not dead. I like this movie. This movie's really fun. It's not great by any levels of the word great, but it's a really fun shark movie. LL Cool J, he's not the greatest actor, but he's good in this. Sam Jackson's amazing for what he does. This is a great Sam Jackson role, and really it makes you appreciate that man so much more. It is a really fun Samuel L. Jackson role. Michael Rappaport's pretty good. I'm surprised he's on the front cover being billed, because it has to be the billing from the poster, because back then he was actually a little more well-known than he is today. Today he's not as a well-known actor. Back then he might have gotten people going, oh, Michael Rappaport, I want to see him. He was in True Romance. Yeah, it is a really good shark movie. The CG's a little wonky at places, but this is probably not even going to be the worst offender of wonky CG over the next 8 weeks. Again, the sharks don't look bad. I think the worst is actually like the bodies, like the humans when they're being attacked by the sharks. I think that is when the CG I have hiccups. It's when the CG gets the worst. It's just because the sharks, their rendering doesn't look that bad. But like when Sam Jackson's being ripped apart and you're underwater, his rendering looks worse than the sharks. But yeah, overall, if you've never seen Deep Blue Sea, go out and check it out. It is a good time. It is a amusing shark movie. It's not a great shark movie, but it's a real fun shark movie. I like it. I'm glad I started this trip down animal attacks with Deep Blue Sea, because it is a great time. It is a lot of fun. All right, next week we move on to big snakes. That's right. We did Snakes on a Plane, so I'm not doing that one. Go back to last August, I think, somewhere in that line. August or December. It's somewhere out there. Between August and November of last year. I had both a review for Snakes on a Plane and a commentary track with one of my friends. So you can go check those out. They're elsewhere on the channel. I'll be doing a different snake movie next week as animals continue to attack. I am Martin Prevost. This is Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more. Like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any content, so you don't miss any animals attacking. Because it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good 2 months. It's a great way to kind of celebrate the Halloween season, is talking about a bunch of movies about animals killing things. But yeah, I will talk to you next week. Have a good one.